So let's see how it goes. We're loading in now. Walton's spawning on the 6 side of the map. Insane gens right off the bat. That
Wow.
is actually,
Oh my god.
yeah, not something you see too much on
Alright.
Chapel. Usually you see better gens on the top side. Although
Yeah.
you do sometimes see good gens down bottom. So Watson has definitely noticed that immediately, and now he wants to try and find a survivor around the midsection of the map so he can down them without being too far away from his gens. But he hasn't managed to locate them just yet.
Yeah. Requiem here, playing a very, very slow start, stealthing out the Corrupt, I believe. Probably sending someone down the right side of the map to work on the generator at 5 now. Not too sure though, even though they're I used to be in their team actually under skirmish, and we find Riley here. Holding W, getting tagged, going to the bottom side of the map, and no, actually going to the 10 corner here. Pretty smart decision considering the gifted gens, so to speak, at the bottom.
Yeah, I think there might have been a comp coming in there for him to not go bottom, so he just
Yeah.
decided to run edge. But unfortunately, that means a really quick
Oh,
chase
no.
for Walton. And yes, still a hook right inside his Omega 5 gen here. So great start right at the bat for Walton. Let's talk about the fact that the Nurse is the pick for Inferno. Why do you think they've chosen this killer? Wouldn't Walton have favored some of his other killers like Spirit, maybe?
Maybe, but though he does have Spirit as the tiebreaker, though maybe they wanted to bring it to a third and take it cleanly there instead, but yeah, who knows? Requiem Nurse set? I'm not too sure, to be honest. I haven't really seen them play too much, but Inferno, they play pretty well. The survivor side is pretty solid. The killer is also very, very solid. And we see Walton here just camping, just playing it slow. He does not really have that much pressure on him. And we see the survivors here working the more farther gens, not going for the save, actually.
Yeah, so a
But
3
we
split right
see...
now.
Yeah, we do see Xiaoru, though, I believe, doing the generator that Walton popped. My memory is very bad. I'm not too sure what it is. I'm assuming 5. But oh, he does just run in here, just stopping the regression. And oh no, this is a trade though. But
Oh,
oh wait, he
that
just ended up...
was huge mistake from Walton. I think since he went for
Yeah,
that blink hit, it made it so that he couldn't go for the M1 in time. If you just M1 straight
yeah.
away, he would have had the slug on Shiaru. But either way, he gets
Hmm.
the tunnel onto Shirali. He hooks him back in the 3 gen. Now he wants to try and pop that gen over at 5 to try and
Yeah.
prevent that from popping. If that pops, then that makes things a little bit more difficult for Walton. But he still has the 3 gen here, of course. I think that might
Oh, I
be that
think that is...
gen.
No,
No,
but
it's
they
not
are
5.
doubling 5, yeah. This will be... No, it can't be close, right? It was around 10% last time.
Well, we did have Chiari working on it a bit. Okay, no, not even
Ah, yeah.
close.
Hmm.
Puts Walton in a very comfortable position considering his gens. Still having main, that's obviously 1 blink away from his hook. We see Orion starting to work main. This could be kind of dangerous. Like I said, just 1 blink away. Walton is at main, returning to hook. Shiaru just fully reset, so he's probably going to go in for the 1-for-1 save
Yeah.
now. Obviously, we have this mechanic in the game where survivors can get a guaranteed save, no hook grabs. So against STs, you'll just always 1-for-1 rather than
Definitely.
no pain res in play, so you don't have to worry about that. So the 1-for-1 is generally a good thing to do. And I think someone's going
Definitely.
to come in and do it soon.
Yeah, we see
There we go.
Xiaoru here running in for the save, and Walton
Oh.
actually not getting the hit onto Xiaoru. That is not good. He can maybe even play for a pallet save, and interesting hit onto Riley here. He does have the life though, so maybe he can outplay Walton's blinks, and no, he doesn't, unfortunately. Dying next to the main generator as well. He could hook a 2 here and then just blink straight to main and pop. So we might see Orion leaving that generator, playing for a deeper bottom gen instead. But no, we see Walton actually going for 5, and it does end up
Oh, I
popping.
think he needs to pop main immediately. That gen has quite a bit of pressure right now. Yeah, nice. He does get a comfortable pop in time. But now playing the 3v1 in a pretty nice 3 gen. I think if Walton plays this safely, he should still be able to make a 4K1. It just depends how quick his chases it. He locates his ace right off the bat. That's Xiaoru absolutely juking his blink and running towards the top side. Walter knows he can't commit. He wants to try and find another survivor immediately. Walking around main a bit. I heard someone upstairs, I think. But Walton's
Yeah.
blinking towards the 7 gen. He sees Gabu in this corner of the map, very much zoned. He can blink straight onto Gabu. Might even get a down here and hook him before they can pop that chapel gen.
Yeah, and this is our DHDS player, though very, very stacked with the lucky break as well, and going down very fast, but I think this is relatively far away from main. If our spectator could go and see what the generator is at, that would be very nice. And no, they do not pop it. Orion here actually not leaving yet, maybe being the bait so that Chiaro could insta-save this, but giving the tag now would not be as worth, I think.
I think at some point they're going to have to cut their losses short and just play for that 11 gen to make sure they don't get 4K2 here. Because if they just keep working these gens bottom, that gives Walton the chance to just kill them all at some point. If he gets a slug or a snowball or a tunnel, he can just eventually end the game and get a... Oh, that was so unfortunate, those boxes there. Walton is left with a hard decision here. Does he commit to Gabu, who has lucky break and is in a weak position and has no dying light stacks to offer? Or does he return to his gens? But he gets a nice quick down onto Gabu. So he wants to try and pop that main gen. But I think if they doubled this whole time... the DS as well! Oh, he needs to leave this.
Not good for Walton, and waiting out the DH, they're very, very well played. Oh, this will be close. I'm not sure if the generator will pop. Especially with the hook being very far. Wait, no, actually, this is a very, very close hook, I think.
Yeah, there we go. You can see
main,
the pop on main.
does pop.
Rancor actually telling us that there's a survivor already on that 6 gen. So we know if Walton goes to 6, the survivor that completed main is going to go in for the save on Gabu. A lot of pressure on that gen, so they weren't even doubling there. That's crazy.
That is incredible. What?
I think they were very confident when they heard Gabu was in chase with DSDH, so they decided to just split gens there. And it ended up working out quite well for them.
That is just Requiem's teamwork, I think. Just, you know, trusting them, each other, you know, with the chases and all of that. As we can see right there, them just like... I actually don't know when they split. That must have been around when the generator was 80, maybe 70. To do the generator at 6 there. Pretty good decision, to be honest. This puts so much pressure on Walton now, especially since Gabu's still not reset. And as I say that, now they could just send him to 11 to just, you know, work the generator up there, while Orion and Xiaoru could just both split with the bottom gens, maybe double the bottom gens, depending on how Walton approaches this.
Well, the difficult thing for Walton right now is he doesn't have much information. He doesn't know where the survivors are. There could be someone already bottom side of the map. So holding this choke is a little bit risky. As like I said, someone could already be bottom. Someone could be working 11. They could be doubling 11, in which case they could probably just get outs right after doing that. But Walton's choosing to commit to 11. I think that's the correct play, knowing that his bottom gens are all quite low. If he commits to the survivor here, he at least is going to be able to slow down the game for a little bit. So that is going to be Orion, a fresh hook survivor. Xiaoru very close to hitting that second stage. So we're going to see if Gabu does get a save in time before he hits second. And Walton now committing to Orion. He can actually make the comeback here. If he downs Orion in a decent amount of time and hooks him bottom or mid, he can just start pressuring the survivors straight off the bat there. But we see the reset coming in onto Xiaoru. Looks like it will make it there. Walton has lost Orion.
That is not good. Orion, they're running to 1, I believe. And yeah, he goes back to the generator at 12 here. If these two survivors at the bottom side could just stealth, this will be very, very bad for Walton. And yeah, we see Xiaoru here just crouching next to Shaq. A very dangerous play, but it does pay off as Walton here. I think he's a bit scared. Going back to the top side of the map, maybe getting that calm from one of his teammates that, hey, maybe they're working top and they're just stealthing bottom. You have to go and check that gen. And I think he will find Orion here, unless Orion pulls some crazy stealthing here, just maybe walking down
Oh,
left side, and
Gabu
he's just
is
at the
actually
rock.
top side.
Oh, and
I'm not sure
Walton,
why Gabu didn't go double there with Shiaru at the bottom side.
yeah. As soon
But
as
yeah,
he
we're
went top,
seeing.
they,
Sorry.
yeah, they probably, yeah, I think you're right. They probably should have definitely doubled 7 here, even though it is quite unsafe. There's not really much to run around, but still, it is. Look at how far it is from each other.
Yeah, I mean, if Shiaru and Gabu just double 7 and pre-run it and stealth it, oh, the reset onto Orion. Okay, that
Oh,
changes the
wait.
game right now. But that 11 gen still has a decent amount of pressure. So regardless, the survivors are going to 2-1 split, and Watson has to figure out what side has 2 survivors, which we know is the top side right now. All the gens are quite low progressed. I think 11 has the most progress. So, oh, barely any actually. So it's
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
better to commit to a chase on this top side. It really needs to find the survivors, but they're stealthing. We see Orion behind a rock in the corner. And the best thing about this rock is it has a crow on it. And I know a lot of killers are going to second guess checking there if they see the crow, as that
Oh,
usually means
yeah.
the survivor hasn't been there.
Yeah, I think I used to have that habit as well. It was not too good until I had to learn the hard way that, if you want to check, just check thoroughly. Just
Yeah.
spend that extra few seconds just looping around the rocks, checking every nook and cranny. And you see, Walton, you're going back to the bottom side of the map. Is this the generator that they are working in? Yes, it is. We see
Oh, we
Sharu
found
here
someone
going
in
to
the
basement,
basement.
actually.
That's going
Oh,
to mean
this
a
is
very quick down.
not too good. I think they're doubling top here, as Orion just got reset. Uh, Sharu here doing a
Oh, the
little bit of
grab.
loop-de-loops, ends up getting grabbed, but still they do pop 12 here. This
I,
is
I don't know if they do actually. I think he might be able to stop this. Oh, it could be
oh
close.
no.
We'll have to see. Oh, this
They
could be
do pop
really
this with the
close
fast
actually.
track as well.
Yeah, true. But the Dying Light, 5 stacks of Dying Light might come in. No, they definitely get that. Yeah, there's no question
Yeah,
about it. But yeah, so that's gonna be.
they have to
So
stealth this.
Orion is still fresh. So if Walton gets Orion right now, he can get himself a 10
Oh,
stage
he
full
saw his
fresh
head.
resolve. And he has found Orion, which is pretty good. There's Arena. He's gonna fatigue, commit to the chase right now. Orion running around this little carnival, uh, making his way into the. Oh, nice little juking going on from Orion, giving Gabby the time to go get Shiero off the hook and open the door and prepare for the 2-out. Nice tag onto Orion. Orion kind of
Oh
getting stuck,
no,
unfortunately. Walton gonna go, oh, overcome? I guess, yeah, I guess I'll take that.
that is an
So,
overcome. Oh, no. Walton missing that blink there. Ryan having little bit more time. I think. Oh my God, Gab
oh,
does
is
get
he gonna
Sharu.
slug? No.
Barely, very, very barely. This might be the 2-out actually, depending. Oh yeah, look at that door at 6 over there. That is quite the distance, but they were not on it. Yeah, they were not on
They
it straight
were
away.
running out
So
the basement there, so
yeah,
let's have a look at how.
let's
Oh, we
see.
see someone actually wrapping for save. The gate's about 50, so that's basically confirmed. If Gabby gets the
Yeah.
pull on Orion, this could be kind of scary right now. But Walton might be able to find Gabu if he
Oh,
checks
he
around a
does
little
go
bit, kicking
back.
the pallet. I think Gabu just takes the out here, right?
Yeah, if in my opinion, you could go
Yeah.
for this save, but it is so risky to just give that extra stage and a 3k instead of a 2k 10 with 4 fresh. And yeah, we're gonna be seeing. I think I'm actually not sure who is a nurse for Requiem, but I think
It'll
we
be
will
Gabu.
end up finding out. Ah, yeah, and
So really interesting
yeah.
to see that. I did enjoy this game. I think Walton had some
Hmm.
very nice blinks there. But I think what really came to his demise at the end of the day is every time one of those survivors one for one the hook, he didn't get the tag on the survivor, or he didn't get the down.
Yeah,
So he
that
lost a
one
lot of
tag.
pressure. Yeah, and losing that main gen, when he committed topside to Gabu with the DS, I think he could have left that one a little bit earlier. Honestly, he could have left that before the DS. When he missed the blink at 5, he could have just gone straight to main and caught a
Hmm.
survivor out of position. But yeah, no, he had a really good start. But once the survivors from Requiem broke that 3 gen, they just played it as well as you possibly can. Just resetting the survivors and then just stealthing with an insane gen split. So realistically, there's not a whole lot a nurse can do
Yeah.
there unless they get lucky and find a survivor very quick and get a very quick down. But Walton could not manage to do that. unfortunately. He does find a survivor in the basement, but he still can't stop the gen from popping at 11. So yeah, really good games over there. We're going to move to intermission and see how Gabu does on the nurse. All righty, welcome back in, ladies and gents. We're going to be seeing Gabu now on the nurse, trying to tackle that win condition that was just set by Watson, who got a 10 stage with 4 fresh survivors on the chapel nurse, which is honestly a pretty solid result. You definitely want to aim for a 4K1, but if you can't, this is basically the next best thing. As if the survivors play a good game here and break the 3 gens, have good chases, die in corners, I think this is very beatable. So we're going to spawn in and see what Gabu's kind of game plan is. I wonder what build he's going to be running, what kind of gens he's going to have. I really like this survivor roster we have right now and that they're all paying respect to the GOAT Ryan Lang. So great to see. But yeah, Gabu running the exact same build, I believe, that we saw from the previous game.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this build, Gunther?
There's not really much you can change, to be honest, except maybe switching a Rancor for Discordance as... Oh, he does see a Crow to the left here. Faking, blinking away, and blinking back to 6. Pretty well played. And overall just a smart decision. This is not the lucky break, and he will be second blinking that. That was a very, very risky blink. Though it does pay off, though.
Yeah, nice start to the match. Really good attention to that Crow there. Gabu going to be hooking around 9, which I don't really understand, considering he's got
another Crow.
Some strong bottom gens. Yes, so that Crow over at 10. Gabu probably noticed it as well. Might just blink behind that rock and try and get that tag, or even just walk around and find the survivor there.
This is a really, really good start for Gabu here. Down very, very early just because of that little Crow, and he does see Renato here. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, and oh no, hitting the wall there instead of the survivor, and does end up getting the tag. He breaks away to the bottom side of the map, not going for the trade. Very respectable decision, as you know, there isn't too much gen pressure right now. As you know, this down is very, very close to top mid. Look at that. And he's in a pretty decent gen, like a 3 gen here, actually.
Yeah, that's a nice pop, to be honest, getting that off on the gen right near the hook. And now the survivors can't really start wrapping, and he's going to force second onto Jarms. Now kind of walking around, preparing his plan for what he's going to do after the second stage. And it seems like he wants to come bottom side. He does have very good gens here. I don't know if he's going to be able to play them, though, since he really wants to play for that tunnel onto Jarms. So if he gets his tag now onto Ziggy, no. Choosing to fatigue and go immediately back to hook, I like the idea. You don't want to let Jarms get FTP'd and escape here.
Yeah.
So just floating around the hook here is just the best play by far at 5 gens. The Rancor giving him insane information, knowing exactly that he can chase these 2 survivors that are near the hook, especially this one over at 11.
Yeah, we see Rancor giving him pretty good value. Now he knows he can be pressuring the more farther gens in his regen here, since, you know, well, obviously he knows that people aren't too close yet. And as I say that, we see Toxic here coming in for the save, and
oh, the body from Jarms with the BT there.
No.
Gabu's going to try and take that down on Toxic, gets it now. Going to be slugging to try and get Jarms, who's kind of zoned on the top side of the map. I don't really see much because of the stream quality, but I think he's over in the carnival on the deep side of the map. Gabu just walking around trying to track him down. Blinking seems to have some line of sight. He does, and gets a perfect blink onto Jarms.
Wow.
Going to be getting a death at 4 gens with Toxic on the ground, ready for him to get a free hook right over there, unless they pick him up quickly.
Yeah. Gabu here playing this really well. We see a death at 4 generators remaining, as opposed to the other game that we had just now, where it was a death at 2. Very contrasting start. You see the win con here being, oh, okay, very ambitious swing there, but not getting it, unfortunately. The win condition being 11 stages, so this will be very, very hard for the survivors, but we can't lose hope yet. And Very, very unfortunate for Toxic. Double backing straight into Gabu.
Yeah, although this is our obsession, so it's not going to award Dying Light stacks to Gabu. So what I often like to do in this position as an S-tier killer is you can tunnel this survivor if it's convenient to do so, but you can also drop the chase and just go to other survivors and start building those Dying Light stacks again. And he has found a survivor in a pretty weak position here. I don't know exactly who it is just yet, but amazing blink. Gonna land a hit now onto
Wow.
Ziggy. So if Gabby just commits to this down, he's going to be building his Dying Light stacks and also forcing Mel to cross the entire map. A really good double back from Ziggy,
Oh
but still
my
the down
God.
coming in now from Gabby there.
That hit looked a bit funny, but maybe that's his spectator nurse. And we see Gabriel taking the hook onto 2 here. We have 2 survivors hooked at once. This is very, very rough for Team Inferno here. Going to be a very, very hard game. Beyond this part, as we see Gabriel looking for the injured survivor, I think, or the potentially the healthy Mel that is going to save. And we actually see a crow at 6 here, but probably did not notice that, and does get that hit onto Mel. Goes back. I think he actually did notice the crow, but he saw Mel also, so decided to maybe take that tag. As you know, I know him as a very smart killer player and survivor player, but we actually see him going to 5 here, trying to spot out the saver, and he does end up finding excellent macro and just overall game sense from Gabu in this whole game here. Getting that down, slugging, going back to the hook. This is just a...
Yeah, Gabu's game sense here has been immaculate. He's been really forcing the survivors into a chokehold and knowing their every move and knowing where they're going to run, who to commit to, forcing them to put themselves in a bad position, and also just catching them off guard many, many times. So now Gabu's going to be blinking 12. I guess he's expecting a survivor to be on the gen, but we don't see anyone nearby. So kicking this gen could be very risky. Maybe allowing the pick up on Toxic, but Gabu going back immediately. And we see Mel is actually stealthed around this. I think that's the 9 part of the map. It's hard to tell on the spectator because you don't know exactly where you are.
Yeah.
But I think that's around 9, 10. And Gabu is actually quite close. Yes, it is. So if Gabu locates him, that's a 4K at 2 gens, which is an incredible result on the nurse. And he does, I think? No.
Oh. Wait, almost there. I think
he's just checking around.
The only hope
is.
for Inferno here is maybe a bleed out play. He does end up picking Toxic. Not sure what else they could do here, honestly. I wouldn't want to jinx it, but this is looking like a GG for Inferno here.
Yeah, I mean, they could do a bleed out. They could also split these gens across the map. So we do have gens that are pretty far away, but 200 survivors is going to make that incredibly difficult to pull off. Gabu decided not to commit to Toxic here. He's coming back to this bottom side. I can't, it's so hard to see scratch marks with this Discord stream, but I think Mel is here somewhere and he's just trying to track him down.
Yeah,
so we see...
Oh wait, Mel is
Mel's
top, actually.
Top, yeah, so he's on Toxic right now. He's on this gen. And, oh yeah,
he needs his PH. Oh no. Oh my god, what is happening here? Is Gabu lagging?
I don't know, to be honest. Could just be spectator bugs. But Gabu's choosing the slug, which is definitely I think it is the correct play, considering that Mel is a fresh hook survivor. So you don't want to risk him getting out. However, it could be risky considering Toxic is half bled out. So like you suggested earlier, they could go for a bleed out play and do a bit of a trauma tech by getting Toxic 99, picking him up and then getting him on a gen somewhere. But no, Mel's been located right off the bat. One blinked.
Wow.
Crazy blink by Gabu. And what a strong game right there. Gabu just showing his immaculate game sense and good blinks as well. I think overall, if we compare his nurse to Walton over these 2 games, I think their mechanics have been very similar. Maybe Gabu edged him out a little bit, but overall, Gabu has just been displaying a lot more patience and a lot more awareness and macro than what Walton was, where Walton was kind of struggling to find the survivors when he needed to, especially when they split those gens across the map. And Gabu has just been constantly finding survivors, knowing where they'll run to, who will go for the saves, and just intercepting. So really, really well played from Gabu here. Impressive game.
Yeah, we see him, knowing where the survivors are, and most importantly, taking that risk, uh, with the, I guess, consequences in mind. As at 6 there, if he missed that blink, he would have probably let someone go top, right? If I'm not wrong, at the beginning of the game.
Which blink?
Uh, the very, very first one, where he blinked to find the Jarms.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Possibly, yeah.
it would have probably opened up a opportunity for, well, two, maybe three of the survivors to go up top very freely, but he did get that very high reward for the high risk play. Yeah.
All right, so that's going to be it. We're going to now move towards the mastermind set, and that is Requiem's pick. So Requiem winning Inferno's pick is quite
Mm.
impressive, and we're going to see now how they're going to be able to perform on their own picks. I'm excited for this mastermind set after a quick break.
All right, welcome back yet again. We're gonna be loading into the Mastermind set. This is, I think, Requiem's pick, if I'm not wrong. There's still I wouldn't be too down here if I was Inferno, as you usually would practice the other team's picked set more. So there is still hope, despite it seeming like there isn't. And we're gonna be seeing Lith here actually on the Wesker. I've not seen him play just yet, so will be very, very interesting. We're gonna be seeing the build of Brutal, Pop, Pain Res, Corrupt. Very, very basic, I guess, so to speak.
Ooh, we've
Since
seen some gloves. I like to see it.
yeah,
I honestly don't hate these add-ons at all. I
yeah,
quite like
gloves
it. Andrew,
and
if you're watching in the
medallion.
chat, give us your rundown, Andrew, what your take is on these add-ons. Actually,
Yep.
they're not bad at all, but doesn't get
Oh
the
my
hit onto
God.
Ziggy, barely. Gonna kick the door now onto main. Ziggy making a lot of distance off that miss, unfortunately. Lith kind of might just abandon this and go for
Oh
one of the survivors around bottom. We see someone at the 10 gen doubling, actually, so a really good chase to commit to. There's a Paladin getting the
oh
tag onto
my.
Mel. Unfortunately, the 200 MS makes it really hard to react there, but he's going to run main with
Yeah.
the hit. Lith seems like he's going to be committing, and that other survivor, I think it was Jarms, is going to wrap back onto that 10 gen.
Yeah, Mel being, I wouldn't say out of position, since there is a lot of ping being involved here, and pre-dropping that pallet, running around main. This is stalling a lot of time for his team right here. Lith actually going for this dash, trying to stop him from vaulting the window, but misses and loses Mel, and he is able to vault the pallet yet again. Maybe going around main for the second time, and yeah, he actually does. This is gonna take a very long time for Lith to get his first down here, and insta breaks the pallet, zoning Mel here, and running around the boxes on 200 ping, not being able to react probably, and yeah, does go down, but stalls a very, very long time for his team here. Even though the down is top, I think Inferno might be fine here.
Oh, I just realized something that makes me very frustrated. Mel in his name has a lowercase z for the Ryan LZ.
Oh,
So can we get some
yeah,
hate in chat for Mel? So
yeah.
Lith is going to rush towards 9. Gen's not completed yet. We see Ziggy running away. He's going to get that pop onto the Gen. Mel, of course, is hooked inside his 4 Gen, so quite comfortable with that fact, but no infection on Mel, which is going to make things a little bit messy once he does get unhooked to try and get the tunnel. But Lith kind of patrolling around, trying to find a survivor on this right side of the map, wrapping up for the save right now, but we're yet to see anyone just yet.
Yeah. To be honest, if I were Lith here, I would probably just sit at top mid here and just watch both sides at the same time, and we do see who is that? That is Toxic at 3. Oh, 9 and ends up popping. Toxic could wrap up to 1 here instantly and do that gen and let someone from the 9 side save instead, but I think we're going to be leaving Mel to go second here unless
Double
Joms
stuff?
runs in for this, and I don't think they get this, unfortunately. And
Oh, they do.
oh, they do
Wow.
before second. And Mel
Very well
being the
played.
SB here, he's probably going to be able to get out of top pretty well. And no eye filler though, and Lith trying to zone him back up to top. The other survivors need to be doubling, maybe even tripling a top gen here, and Mel getting that excellent stun. Still not being able to make it anywhere though, unless he dodges this. And
Oh,
Lith messing up here, and Mel instantly vaulting that. Quite unfortunate for Lith, as... Oh, I think he just lost him.
what?
Oh
That
no.
is so unfortunate. The
That is
Mel
very
making
unfortunate.
full top side of the map with main. I think at this point, Lith really needs to abandon this. Oh, but
Yeah.
Mel waiting a bit too long on that check spot. And he's actually now caught in a bad position. It seems like it's going to be a free down for Lith there. Might be able to die on this pallet gym to waste a bit of time and make him a bit scared that the survivors are out. But no, Lith's going to insta-pick. No survivors there, so he gets the hook. And another gen popping in the distance. So 2 hooks at 2 gens is very good for the survivors, in my opinion, for Wesker. If you can have a death at 1 gen with no 3 gen, then you've basically won the game at that point. But he does have a 3 gen here still, so... Oh, not for long though. That
Oh
gen at
my.
1 very, very much progressed. Toxic is hanging around. We see the spray around that 5 side of the map. The 4th survivor is probably wrapping around the left side to start pressuring the hook or 11. And Lit's going to be caught in a position where he doesn't know who to commit to. But right now he's going to commit to Toxic, who seems like he's very close to giving him a tag. Yeah, it's going to be a hit right there, unless he does some juking, which is exactly what happens. And the unhook coming out on Mel just at the right time. Lith has to go for this tunnel as soon as he possibly can and make sure that Mel can't make the bottom side of the map. We do catch him in quite a bad position, but he still has that long wall, I believe. Sorry, the pallet chip. The god pallet. Why did I call it a long wall?
He just swing through it. That was
Yeah,
a very good read from Lith there, probably knowing or taking in the fact that Mel's on ping. They're just swinging through the pallet, zoning him top. Pretty good decision. And Toxic, I was just about to say that might have been a game-winning dodge coming from him, but Mel does go down though, so unfortunately not going to be able to pop.
One mistake I've been seeing repeatedly from Lith is when he knows where survivors are, instead of cutting off where they're going to run, he kind of like just goes straight. Like you saw how he went to that 1 gen, he could have gone to 2 or 3 and cut off those survivors and gotten himself a very easy hit there. But instead he went straight to the gen and allowed them to get away.
Yeah, not only that, he probably would have pushed people to 11 as well.
Yeah.
Better in Joms. Oh, barely not getting hit there with the Lithe, but does get the M1. And, oh, we see some scratch marks. I think there are some survivors going back up to 1 here. And, oh, no one here. I think it was just Toxic, yeah. And Ziggy here, I'm just gonna call him that based off of you, Bass.
Yeah.
Maybe he's still
I think that's how you say it.
I would hope so too, because it would be a little bit sad if someone mispronounced my name.
I do it all the time. But anyway, Lith is coming to this 6 out of the map. We see a missed skill check, probably
he does
an
find the
RNG as he got off.
Oh, okay, he ends up chasing.
He's gonna commit.
Yeah. With the medallion, he can't play this, and Jarms breaking away. Not the best play, my friend.
Yeah, so he's gonna get that pain race hook on Jarms now. Well, was there, or was it a medkit reset?
It was a heal, I believe. So
Okay.
there should have been, I think, Ziggy down here with Jarms, but Lith he probably cannot afford to find him at the moment.
There you go.
He needs to go top, and
the pain res did hit one of these top gens, so I don't think the top gens are that scary right now. Finally, he's deciding to cut the survivor off, so it seems like he's listening to my casting. And look at that, wouldn't you know, we have Ziggy caught in a bad position. And Lith's just going to swing through the pallet once again, getting the tag on Ziggy. He's going to run bottom side. Lith's going to choose to pop this gen. I think that is a safe play. You can't really go wrong with that. But we see the actual claws blocking that gen. Does that mean it can't get regressed anymore, or is that just the warning? I can't tell which one which.
To be honest, from my experience, it just goes up a few times, and then I think you can just keep kicking it a few more times after that.
I think it's fine for now. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I can't really say though. I only scrim polite, and not too much gen kicking going on there, compared to maybe an M1 set.
Right, but yeah, we see Lith
Does-
finding Jams once again. Our tunnel on the bottom side of the map
Oh.
doesn't get the hit, and that's going to mean Jams might make the pallet, but instead going for the window and still makes the window.
my.
Actually, Ziggy, I take that back, not Jams. But we
was
see Jams
resilient.
actually spraying around the 7 part of the map, and now he's going to be running towards this little tile. Lith zoning him, cutting him off.
Ooh.
Doesn't have any pallet to work with here, so he's just going to have to run edge unless he makes this 6 pallet, which he might actually make. Oh, but an early vote and a light coming in,
light.
saving him. And Lith knows he has to leave this chase, rush up topside. Toxic is on one of these top gens, might be doubling actually with Ziggy. So Lith has to be onto it as quick as possible. We see Ziggy on that main side of it. Toxic probably going to be running down the 3 side. Not much pressure on 1 actually, so Toxic might be pushing 11 instead.
Yeah, maybe 11. Definitely 11. Yeah, we see Ziggy here running 1 instead of 2-12 there, and Toxic here probably just. Yeah, I mean he has to just W key down and he does get stuck in the little the thing. And
but he chooses
the vault.
makes Lith vote, and now he's going to be
no.
committing mid. Nice little cracker makes Lith kind of lose his sense of momentum. But we have
God,
two,
he just
all
runs
3
everyone.
survivors grouped up right now. What is happening? Lith using his power right now, getting the down now onto Jams with that toss. Now he's going to be slugging.
He could just
Is he?
slug
Yes.
and
I mean, there's no pallets at 11, so yeah, this is really good for him to commit to. Wow,
back
the
to
gen is
main.
really close to popping, so I think he actually needs that pain res as quick as possible on either Ziggy or Toxic. So they need to be playing very carefully and making sure not to go down. If he picks up Jams, they might be able to pop 11 in time.
And I think
Ooh, he's going
Toxic
for the
is
pick.
trying to distract. I'm not too sure what they're gonna do here, as this is not a pain res actually. Use
He gets that. He gets that with Resi.
Josh
That's a 4K0
has
there.
been hooked. Oh no! Wait, he does not get it. I think, and yeah, that is like 95 and live.
He thought it was still
a
there.
little bit scared there.
Yeah, better safe than sorry. But Lith now going to be walking towards that one side of the map, trying to locate one of these injured survivors. Jumps Death Hook on that gen that's with the most progression. We see a bit of pressure here from Ziggy, so I would expect Toxic might be going for the save right now. This might be an overcommit from Lyth onto Ziggy. If Ziggy can make the bottom side, yeah, the unhook now coming in. Lyth has to go back immediately, but we see the chase is still happening onto Ziggy. So are they going to double this gen?
Back.
Lyth is returning now to 11.
That was very, very good timing. As you know, you just saw they instantly got back on the gen as he just rushed to top here. Toxic, he has to juice, man, like he did before, and he does insta vault. And Lyth, not winning the 50-50. He does get this though. I believe he is the pain res as well, so this will slow the game down by quite a bit.
Wow, really nice pain res too. Lyth gonna rush back up to the 11 side of the map. Jams is infected, so he needs to spray, otherwise he's gonna give Lyth a quick tunnel. This is quite a tough position for the survivors. I think, honestly, he should have just committed to that gen with Resi and taken the down there for a 4K0. But yeah, Jams now running around 2 over at this 4 lane, makes the window. Lyth, there's gonna be a little Lyth coming in, and still gets duped by the Lyth. So, but Jams now getting slowed down by the full infection. It's going to make it really difficult to survive against a Wesker. Lyth is just going to continue following and committing on the 4 lane. I imagine Ziggy is going for the unhook, and yeah, that's what we see. The down now coming in onto Jams, and Lyth can now just hook Jams, pop that 11 gen, and he's essentially guaranteed himself a 4K1 here.
Yeah, this is a death as well, I might add. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be a 4K. Not too sure about the gen count though. Maybe they'll pull out some crazy play at the end, but it is not looking too bright, if I have to say so myself.
Look, all I want to say is Toxic can be a bit of a juicer. So if we see some crazy juicing going on, we might be able to see a gen pop here, but gonna have to take an insane chase from either Toxic or Ziggy. So let's hope their chemistry is unmatched right now and they play this completely perfectly as a team in order to pop one of these gens. Lyth overcommitting a little bit bottom side. He has located Ziggy, but he's at Shack. Shack's still up next to a Godfiller. I don't think you would really want to commit to this, to be honest. I think you would go back, and that's exactly what Lyth is doing. Going back to the top side now, trying to catch Toxic. We see some scratch marks inside main, but I'm not sure if Lith actually spotted it. I can't tell if he spotted it or not, but he is walking towards one and trying to catch Toxic out of position. Oh, we can't
Yeah,
find him.
definitely. And oh wait, goes two. Expecting someone to be here. I don't think there was. I have to admit, I was on my phone there, so I have no idea what just happened for the past like 15 seconds. And yeah, we do see Lith going top mid, very safe place, scoping out the survivors here. We do end up finding Ziggy, and we makes the pallet. Very good pathing from him, avoiding a dash and trying to greed for that smash hit and see what he does here. Maybe W King, no, expecting that little double back and actually not getting the hit. That was
Yeah,
very
that's a nice chase from Siggy there, not giving the tag. This might be exactly the kind of
yeah.
chases that we need to be able to pop a gen. Lith going towards that one gen. Toxic has already pre-run, but we don't know exactly where he is. Probably playing, oh no, caught
Oh.
poorly out of position. Gonna take the distance. Lith could probably just commit to this, but knows rushing back to top mid, trying to catch Ziggy. We see the scratch marks over at 11. Ziggy is going to be on that 11 gen. Quite a difficult gen to work as there's no pallets left, so he's going to have to run main, which is tough for Toxic because Toxic has to work that one gen, and that leaves him very, very close to the chase. But Lith now committing for a hit onto Ziggy, gets the tag around the middle side of the map with the infection, and now he's going to abandon and go back to one to try and catch Toxic.
Yeah, and this is basically, I wouldn't say stalemate. This is very favored to Lith here, but for the survivors, I would say this is kind of a stalemate. There's not too much you can do here. Oh, that tree kind of blocking Lith from getting that down there, and Toxic holding W, winning the 50 yet again, and holding W again. This man is a little
Ooh,
demon, and Lith, they're getting a bit impatient,
yeah, good chase
rushing
there from
there
Toxic. Ziggy
bit too
pre-running this
early,
gen.
and yeah, good pre-leave, but I think he still gets down here as there aren't too many pallets, if I remember correctly. Oh, okay,
Yeah, there's really not much at all for Ziggy to work with. Can he get the
that
vault
is
in
a
main, and
very,
now he just dies, right?
yeah.
There's not a whole lot he can do. And that's the issue really with just a mastermind just slowly kicking every pallet and just
Yeah.
depleting the resources inside a 3-gen. Lith is now going to go for this final chase of the match onto Toxic. Hopefully we get a nice juicy chase. Toxic running around like crazy, running towards that midsection, which of course has no pallets at all. You know what I would have liked to see this game? I would have liked to see a little bit more greeting from the survivors, knowing that Lith is going to kick every pallet and get it out of the way, rather than playing him down. It would have been interesting to see them try to greed some of those filler pallets to waste a bit more time and kind of challenge Lith to see if he has what it takes to use his mechanical skill and get those hits. But no, they pre-dropped a lot of pallets safely, as you would expect comp players to do. But the issue is that Lith has just been kicking every pallet on the top side, and now it's just impossible for them to have a good chase against him. So yeah, very well played from both sides there. That's going to be a 4K1 from Lith, unless we see something crazy here, like a hatch play or I don't know what. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this game, Gunther?
Um, I would say at the start there, it looked a bit rough with Mel having very, very good first chase and
Ooh,
second chase. And oh my, almost letting him get the hatch there.
wait, flip flop?
But maybe
Probably not.
flip-flop. Uh,
Probably.
if it was, yeah, I don't think he would have been able to wiggle anyway. We see Wesker's body there contorting. I'm not sure what that was. But yeah, as I was saying, the start was pretty good for the survivors. They just messed up mid game. My cat just meowed. Um, I and yeah, towards the end game, it was just basically no hope for an out there, unfortunately. And yeah, with that, we will be moving on to not sure who's on Whisker for Inferno. Probably would be Walton yet again. And yeah, we will be seeing the result of this whole series maybe after a very short break.
Alrighty, ladies and gents, welcome back in. We're going to be seeing Walton Bagel on the Mastermind now. One of the more underrated killer players in the region, in my opinion. And now he's playing most of the killers for his team right now. So now that Ryan has taken a little break from DBD, we're going to be seeing Walton has been very much in the spotlight, as we saw yesterday, and we're seeing once again today. So he could honestly make or break whether or not Inferno can make a comeback here and beat Requiem tonight. But Requiem already setting a very good win con with a 4K1 on the Wesker. It's essentially impossible to beat. That's the difficult thing about a 4K1 win con. Sorry, Tycon. But the thing is, I think it is very tieable, and I think Walton has what it takes to tie this and then move towards a Spirit set where he could potentially win and then return to the Wesker set once again. I think that's the only way Inferno has a chance here, is they follow that little pattern where they tie this match, win Spirit, and then win this one again. So Walton trying to locate a survivor. We saw some pretty good top gens, the standard ones that you normally get. We see a Crow and a Sprint Burst with our Claudette player Orion running towards Shaq. Walton might be able to get a hit before he makes it. No, definitely a little bit short, and Orion's going to be making the drop now.
Quite unfortunate for Walton here. We do see the, what is that? Video conferencing device, I think? The little infection rate add-on. It, I haven't really seen many people use it, to be honest, but I think it's good for just spreading pressure and almost getting that insta-flick onto Orion here. Don't know if you guys heard my cat just now. He tried to bite my mic. And, will this be a hit? And, oh my god, it actually is a hit. That was,
yeah, so Walton
sure what that was, yeah.
Yeah, probably a bit of a ping diff right there, but Walton now committing to Orion, doesn't have a whole lot left. I don't know if he has a pallet here or not. He doesn't.
Oh,
so
no.
A huge mistake of Walton to use that rush there.
Yeah.
But still doesn't have any pallets, so Orion just going to take that down. One gen popping in the distance. Walton getting his first hook now at 4 gens. Going to be getting a pain res and probably trying to hook deep into this bottom side 3 gen, which is actually quite strong. I didn't realize until now how strong these gens are. And hitting a pain res on one of those top gens.
This could be very well be a 4K1. Just look at these gens, and not any pallets in them as well. I would like to add. There was 6 and Shaq, but I mean that's just gone now. And 5, I think, is a double window or matchsticks. I'm not sure what you guys would call it.
I just call it matchsticks.
Yeah. It does look like 2 matchsticks, so kind of see where you guys get that from. And see Walton here, just patrolling around the area, just taking it easy. His gens are relatively good. I wouldn't say relatively, it's very good for his tie condition. He might just tie it, which is very respectable. I would probably back away from the hook if I were him right now, as in this tournament you can use the self unhook mechanic. You normally don't see it in DBD competitive, but over here in OC we allow it.
Yeah, so we see now Walton rushing top and then going immediately back to bottom, patrolling this hook, ready to go for that tunnel onto Orion once he does get unhooked. If I were him, I'd be trying to be a bit careful of that gen with a lot of progress over at 10. But yeah, no, it has been completed. Not a whole lot he could do to stop it. We know where all 4 survivors are right now, and we see Gabu going to the save, that last survivor obviously on the main gen. So I know the survivor that popped that 10 gen is going to be moving towards this 7 gen. Or 7 or 8, and trying to push that while Gabby plays for the save. Oh, never mind. They might be coming in for a double save, actually, to prevent Walton from going for a throw. And the tag coming in onto Gabby allows a 1-for-1, but is not worth taking the hook right now on Gabby, in my opinion, as all the gens are at 0, so there's no point going for a Scourge hook. But you do want to get this tunnel out onto Orion, as if he gets this quickly, he can get a very guaranteed 4K1. Ooh, nice.
I would probably leave this right now if I were him. This is just too far to commit, if I'm going to be honest. Shirley could
go
away, maybe double 7, but
Gabby's injured, Shirley's injured. I think this is, if he gets this down quickly, this is very doable for him. And it's stuck.
No. That is really unfortunate.
Wait, can we talk about the add-ons real quick? No, Ryan.
Oh
But I
yeah,
just realized this
the green one,
infection
right?
add-on, I don't think I've ever seen anyone run this in comp. But I actually
Yeah,
don't
no.
dislike the idea. Once again, I think Wesker has a lot of ideas for add-ons that you can run.
They are
He has a lot
triple
of add-ons
resetting?
around. Yeah, still Gabby injured. But yeah, that infection add-on can be quite good for tunneling. Unfortunately, we didn't see it too well there because Orion wasn't infected to begin with, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. But yeah, Walton's going to pop this 8 gen, decent amount of progress. Shu needs to spray and Gabby needs to reset. But we know all the survivors are in the 3 gen. I'm not sure if Walton knows this, but he sees scratch marks running outside, and that is Gabby, the only injured survivor. So it might be best for Walton to return and try and catch a healthy survivor inside his 3 gen. We see the spray over at 11 from Shu Riley, and I'm guessing Sharu is the one who has wrapped this gen right now. So Walton probably going to be trying to chase Shiaru, I believe. Or maybe not.
I would say so too. Oh, we're seeing a bit of a Skywars here. I think he does get that hit, judging by the very interesting first hit. And yeah, like I said, he does get it. And Xiaoru here might actually just instantly go down, depending
Ooh.
on what happens. And double vaulting that, maybe expecting the hug tech from Walton here and expecting that vault, but no, the window is blocked. He
Yeah.
might have not noticed that, as you know, there's a very,
Oh,
like, there's a lot of
no,
pressure
Shiaru.
from on Walton and Xiaoru holding the wrong check spot, unfortunately.
Could
Going
this be
down
a
there and
4K
wait,
too?
this could
We
be a
could
4K
actually
too. Look at this.
Yeah, all the gens are 0 right now. We just saw the resets and the sprays coming in, and now we're gonna see the fresh hook onto Shiaru, which is gonna be a pain raise hook. It really just depends on whether Walton can play his macro correctly here and locate the survivors effectively right now.
Definitely, and yeah, no progress on bottom. This is looking rough. They made the right call. Definitely made the right call by getting Gabu to stick one there, yeah. To maybe secure that Tycon, and if Walton gets a really quick chase onto Riley here, this could be really bad for Requiem.
Right, exactly. And the pre-drop now onto the pallet gym. Walton having the balls to play this pallet, I really respect. But no, he's just going to kick in the
Going
end.
for
We
the
see the
save.
unhook coming in from Gabu. I think he can still commit to this. Really, Shirali does not have a whole lot over here to work with. Running towards mid to try and make that eye filler. And Walton holding his power to zone him, but barely gets the hit. I thought,
Nice.
honestly, that she would make that pallet. But yeah, going to get the reset off over on 10. The gen progress is very, very low right now. I think Walton is actually on track to getting a 4K too, but I could also see this backfiring, and I could see this landing in a 4K1. But yeah, plane res,
Yeah.
that's going to hit the gen over at 1, and now Walton has to find the survivor wrapping down the map for the save. If he can find them. Oh, checking lockers, very clever. I think that's a good intuition there. Because if he does find the survivor, the game is just over.
Yeah, if our spectator could switch to see where the survivor is, that would be very good. And I believe the spectator is
He's probably asleep. That's all good. We can
yeah,
leave
it's
him alone.
probably asleep. It has happened before.
It has.
It has happened before, unfortunately. And gonna be seeing Walton here venturing to top mid. Maybe gonna play for a lot of pressure here. And how much progress is that on the gen?
Ooh,
Not too sure
a
how
pre-run
much
then.
is that. Oh, and Gab going for the save again, and Shiaru there vaulting that window instantly, and Walton going for that insta flick. Unfortunately, off by just a few
Ooh, little FOV tech attempt
thingies,
from
and then
Sharu.
yeah, cheeky little FOV attempt, and breaking away to the Z wall and not being able to make it in time. That's quite unfortunate.
I'm interested to see if they're resetting or spraying or just gonna double that gen. Because if they double, yeah, wow, the gen has a lot of progress as we see.
Oh my god.
But the issue is Walton is going to make that gen for the pop, and then he might be able to catch. Oh, you see him looking down the map, really clever of him, trying to catch the survivor going up. We see the crow now from the pre-leave. At this point, Walton doesn't know where the third survivor is, so I think he should just chase that survivor over Shaq. But no, he's actually caught. Riley injured and infected, out of position. And Gabby is going to be pushing that gen. So now the time is ticking, and Walton needs to get this down.
Oh,
Barely misses
no.
with his power. Gabu's going to be hammering away at that gen unless he's going for save. The life now coming in onto the
No.
Ormond tile. Walton going for the kick onto the pallet of the Ormond tile, and now attempting to get that quick down onto Riley. Almost gets window fakes, but barely
the
gets down.
infection.
Gabu getting the unhook instead of committing to the gen.
Yeah, this is a... I don't know, to be honest. This is a really bad spot for the survivors. I'm not too sure about going for that unhook, but assuming that the gen was not like, or no, he wasn't instantly on that gen, that would have been the correct play, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell in that situation, to be honest, but he is committing to Gabu. This seems like it's going to be a very quick hit, and that's our final... Oh, the juice from Gabu being served to Walton. Really nice dodge there. Gabu staying on the T-nails when Walton thought he'd be leaving, and just playing them very correctly. See if he holds this corner. He does hold the corner, even against the Wesker and on ping. He's playing very confidently, not vaulting.
Oh,
really
wow.
good patience from Gabu. This might be the chase of the game that gives the other two survivors time to pop one of the gens across the map. Walton just bloodlusting this pallet, this LT wall right now.
Yeah, this is an insane chase with the 50-50 wins from Gabu over here, and if he misses this, this could be bad, and no, he does not. He needs this pain res very quickly, and I'm not too sure how far that top gen is, but it must be very, very close to popping. And does he get this down? The barrel kind of messing him up here. This will lead to one being popped, unfortunately, and yeah, as we say it, that gen does pop, and Gabu is still going on this chase, man. He is playing out of his mind to get that generator. That was a really, really clutch chase coming in.
Well, we see resets coming in onto Shirley. Walton still has a chance to get a quick down and a pack. Oh, unfortunately, Gabu vaults back, expecting him to double back there, and he didn't. He's going to get this hook on the hill over at 9. We know this is a pain res. We saw the spray coming in, the double spray, double reset. Walton knows where all the survivors are right now. So if I were him, I would be trying to go for that death hook survivor, which I think is Shiaru, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and oh wait, we do see him just holding this can't we say choke, can we? Just I mean, what else is there to call it? Yeah, he's just holding the choke, quote unquote. I think we just saw Survivor move down to the bottom right there. I'm not too sure if my eyes are deceiving me or it is actually some little scratch marks there. Probably was not, knowing myself, and we do see actually they haven't moved towards the bottom yet. We see Shiaru, they're still staying top, and Shirley maybe going bottom or going for the save, and oh, I think he saw him right there, but I think the optimal play here would probably be to just force this second stage.
Or even if he checks 10, 11, he might be able to find Shiaru. And he does find Shiaru running in. Really bad positioning there. That must have been a miscomm from the team. So Walton now, if he commits to Shiaru, he's going to force Shirley to go in for the save. But this is still very good for Walton, as Shiaru is on death hook. So even if Shirley does go and get the save, this puts Walton in a position where he can get himself a guaranteed 4K. However, if he doesn't get this down in time and not getting that hit there, that was very risky of him to try and go for the hit. I think he should have just gone for the vault there, to be honest. But now he's abandoning Shiaru, and now this could be scary, because if Shirley committed to that 6th gen, Walton has to go back with the high pressure, and that means Shiaru is going to get a free pull onto Gabu. Oh, this is actually scary.
Oh, this is a really bad position for Walton. This could be a loss or a tie, depending on how he plays this.
I think he does have time to just force the death on Gabu. Yeah, he realizes it.
Yeah.
And once Gabu dies, he can just go kick that gen and just ignore Shiaru and let that gen regress. Which isn't actually the worst, now I think about it, because Shiaru's going to be pushing the gen at 8, which is at 0. He sprays over at 10. This gives Walton time to start chasing Shirley and either get a tag or an infection or a down. Shirley stealthing inside that pallet gem, very close to where Walton was checking. But he doesn't hear him, unfortunately. Oh, we see him!
Oh, he does see it!
Get the tag! Oh, and I think Shirley will just die now.
And Yeah, this should be the tie for Walton here, and does get that what is the power called? Dash, I will call it
The
that.
reverse.
Something like that. Yeah, the dash, quote unquote. Let's just call it that. Slugging Shriley though, as I'm pretty sure the last hook bleed out would still award the full point. So does the second hook bleed out, and barely missing that dash onto Xiaoru there. That was very scary.
I want to see a crazy juicer chase from Xiaoru right now. I know he has what it takes, and he's deciding to run the backside of main. Still has that 12 pallet. Walton, I love these chases, as weird as it is, because the killer just goes for crazy rushes and just misses them all. And the survivor just has a juker chase at the end. When there's no stakes left, the killer just tries they try whatever. They don't care. They just do whatever. And the survivor just absolutely owns them. But now Xiaoru is going to go down. Walton getting himself a 4K at 1 gen remaining. That's going to make it a tie. Please no slug. This game's going to take longer than it needs to, but regardless, yeah, Inferno taking that tie. That means we're moving over to the Spirit set, which I'm really excited to see. Last time I saw Walton on the Spirit, he was very confident. This man has been on the grind for many years with Spirit, and his P100 Spirit is prepared for tonight. That being said, Gabu had a very strong performance last week on the Spirit against Deception.
Yeah, I think it was Deception. Was it?
Yeah, it was
sure.
Deception, yeah, against Potato Savage Spirit. So I think this could be a battle of the Titans here, Gunther. Watching Gabu go neck to neck against Walton. We'll have to see how it turns out. Could be an exciting matchup for sure.
Yeah, Gab. From my time playing with him on Zero Machine, I know him as a very very smart killer player. He will take risks. He will definitely take risks. Even if he's not setting the win condition, he will just if he knows, he will just go for it, to be honest. He is that type of guy. And Walton, he has how would you say it? Very good ears. Let's just say that. He has very good phases. So yeah, one very mechanical, and one just completely macro based. Who knows?
Welcome back in, folks. We're going to be moving now into the Spirit set after a very enticing set of games from the Mastermind where we saw 2 4K1s. Walton putting on a very dominant performance, almost a 4K2, but a few mistakes and an absolutely insane chase from Gabu that I will never let anyone live down, because that chase was fantastic. He made his way, played the TNLs for like a good 40 seconds, and then ran around Cold Tower, and then played eye filler, then top mid filler. Like, you can't have a better chase than that. It was absolutely phenomenal. And now we're seeing Walton with Spies from the Shadows on Spirit, which I haven't seen actually in a long time. So I'm very curious to see how this plays out. He's opting to run that over Agitation, which seems like a little bit of a risk. But if it does pay off, we could see some good value. Getting a tag onto Orion, and we see Riley zoned in the edge map. Walton has identified this, and that's a really quick tag. Yeah, and he gets his power right after.
Doesn't make stack as well. Oh, this is bad for Requiem. This is really bad for Requiem. And let's see, we do see the instant down. That was a very good read from Walton, probably just hearing, honestly. Shriley in that corner. Then maybe if I were him, I would have went around that rock like a few times, being confused by myself. And we're gonna be seeing him hook in not the gens. The gens are very far, unfortunately.
These gens are good, yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, still a very quick down, and he has located Orion very quickly here. If he gets a tag, that could be huge for him. We see some Spirit Gaming and an amazing tag. Walton just popping off so far in this Spirit game. Like I was saying earlier, I was really excited to see Walton play, as he has just gotten better and better with Spirit over the years. Making sure that he can't make that pallet, and now he's going to go for the phase, just waiting patiently. And What? Yeah, I did not expect that, to be honest.
Oh my
But
god.
Walton seems pretty happy with it. Now he's going to go back and get that tunnel onto Shirali.
Walton is going nuts, man. This guy, his phase is not to be messed with, and yeah, we're gonna be seeing him tunnel yet again. Is this the right survivor though? I can't really hear myself, and yes, it is, and no pallet. That is really unfortunate for Shirley, and running into the gens as well. That is just not good. But he is a DHDS, maybe light DS. I'm not too sure. And Walton, they're playing patient. Shirley here just running into the I'm not too sure what side of the map this is, but this is the most away from gens, I believe.
Well, I don't think this is too bad, but it definitely could be better. That being said, Walton now returning to the middle side of the map. The survivors have once again reset. I still think he's in a phenomenal position considering the pace of the game has been incredible right now. So I think knowing that the DS is out of the way, Walton now needs to play a little bit aggressive to try and get either a tag or a pop before he goes back to the tunnel. The worst thing that could happen right now is if he overcamps and the survivors 3 split and pop 3 gens. That being said, at 4 gens, I do think that's pretty unlikely, and Walton is in a very comfortable position. He has a good line of sight. He knows that no one can come in for Shirley, and he's going for a little bit of an ambitious phase over to that 4 gen, deciding to return. At this point, there's no reason to leave the hook. He just wants to confirm that death, which he can do from quite a distance considering the line of sight that he has right now. That being said, I'm curious. Oh, we do have Gabu actually coming in for the 1-for-1 right now. So Walton wants to get that down onto Gabu, slug him, and then commit for the down on Shirley, who could actually be our DH player, but we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, and Shirley, I think being on not too sure what the ping is, maybe 150, considering he's from Japan, but not being able to extend this chase too much as there aren't any pallets, so he's opting for the next best option, which is just dying in the best spot. Quite unfortunate for him, but yeah, these gens very, very far away from each other, and him dying at a super good spot as well. So yeah.
The gen pressure is really good right now.
Yeah,
but I
the
think
gen
the
pressure,
best
I
case
was about to say.
for Walton, yeah, if he pops this 3 gen and then goes top to find Gabu, he could make a really good recovery and go back into a dominating position with a potential 4K2. That being said, I think a 4K2 is very unlikely at this point. The only way he could get it is if he finds that reset onto Gabu right now before he gets it off. And we do find a survivor, and that is Gabu, but he has got the reset and the sprint burst with the medkit. Walton has his power back, so he could get a tag right here, but I think he's just going to return to his gens, right? Yeah. Oh, no, hold on. Yeah, returning to his gen.
Yeah. I mean, from my perspective, he's still fine, but he is a 4.4, and these gens are kind of cross-map from each other. But yeah, they are still close. He could hold them, but it will be very, very hard. He needs quick chases, good hook spots. That's a very obvious one. Maybe in basement, that could be one of them. And yeah, not opting to go for the spies proc just yet. Maybe waiting for them to get a tiny bit closer and
I think he
opting to go for
should
the
have committed to this person
truck.
like 30 seconds ago, but regardless, he gets the tag now onto Sharu.
Good tag.
He should commit to this, because if he gets it in, I'd say 30 seconds or less, he can pop that gen at 3 and then try and cycle through the gens once again. Phasing a little bit early, deciding to leave the chase. This could be a mistake. We see a survivor on the hill though, going and wrapping that 3 gen. Not on the hill actually, at the truck. So if Walton catches them out of position, this could be really good for him, but he's gone the complete opposite. No, he hasn't actually. Walton is gigabrain,
I think.
Yeah.
That was really smart from Gabu, but fortunately... Oh wait, the sprint burst 99! That is really, really well played, and oh no, Walton being impatient there. Just... yeah, really, really unfortunate, and short phasing, and Gab holding that W key. He has been going nuts on the survivor as of the 2 sets just now. And
absolutely carrying his team right now. Walton missing a phase onto Shari. He really needs to get this down in a quick amount of time. as he's wasted too much time and made too many mistakes at this point. But now, phasing, getting the down onto Shiaru. He has a very close hook. He needs to get that hook and pop the 3-gen. Orion's going to be on that deep 6-gen, as we can see right now, ready to pop. But Gabu also ready to pop that 3-gen. It's just a matter of time. Watson needs to phase over there immediately if he has a chance to stop, and he goes to 6 instead, which is a huge mistake, as that gen has more progress. And Orion's going to be popping it right in his face.
This is really
and
bad.
Gabu is going to be popping 3 across the map as well. And we're going to be seeing, I believe, a 6-stage result on Walton.
That is a really, really well-played game from the survivors of Requiem here. And Orion going for that slow vault, but Walton inevitably hearing that.
Adrenaline on Shiaru.
Yeah, on Adren off hook, honestly. Not too sure what they could do here. It is... yeah, it'll be really tough.
I think this all came down to the fact that he dropped too many chases when he was at 2 gens remaining. That was quite a big... But that being said, I will say the survivors of Requiem have played their macro exceptionally well, considering how many tags they gave early game. The fact that they just let survivors die on hook and just did gens, and of course that 1-for-1 from Gabu with Unbreak over at 6, they wasted a lot of time and they got a lot of gen pressure out of the way. So they played this phenomenally well. It's going to be a 7-stage result. Sorry, not a 6, but a 7-stage onto the survivors of Requiem. So definitely below the stages that you're expecting to get with Spirit. And considering the absolutely insane start that Walton had, I think he was expecting a lot better himself. Unfortunately, a huge comeback from Requiem. So Walton probably not in the best spot right now, but hopefully for him, his survivors will take it back against Gabu Spirit after a quick break.
All right, welcome back everyone to potentially the last set. It will mostly depend on if Gabu can turn up yet again as he did for his last killer game, which was the Nurse, and he delivered one of the best results I've ever seen in the season so far. And yeah, we'll be loading into the game with let's see here. I wonder what build he will choose. He does choose the Noed with I kind of forgot the win condition, so I cannot really comment on that.
So
but
it was,
I would say
7 stages, 3 fresh was the result.
Oh yeah,
Walton got.
Yeah, very, very winnable for Gabu here, if I have to be honest. This is it'll be rough for Inferno, but I would have some hope if I were them with that excellent stun from Toxic there, and Gabu being a little bit disoriented there, but getting that pallet out. Toxic pre-throwing Shack, probably a good decision. I'm not too sure, and he does end up getting hit here and running back into the corrupted gens. Very good decision yet again, macro-wise, and Gab swinging out there, very, very scared of the stun, and Toxic going edge map here. If he can dodge this phase, this would be excellent, but even if, it will be good nonetheless, considering this is, you know, the best spot to die in.
Absolutely. Gabby going to be taking that deep 6 hook, phasing up to the top side. We see a lot of top gens right now, so incredibly good of Toxic to die there. We see a 2-1 split right now, and the double seems like it's going to be completed very, very, very shortly. Gabby phasing up to 10, interrupting the solo survivor. I couldn't see who that was. We see the double completing their gen now. That 3-gen was actually insane, the 10, 11, 12, so good for the survivors to have that broken. Gabu now going to pop that gen, going to walk back towards the shack, starting a phase. I believe he'll be returning to hook right now. I don't think we see scratch marks of a survivor coming in, but I'm not sure if they can actually get that save before Gabu can get a tag. But they do actually get the save, which means Gabu's going to get the 1 hit onto the... Oh no, just purely going for the tunnel. Could be a mistake leaving Ziggy healthy. That being said, it will help him kind of confirm this, but Ziggy will be taking that hit eventually. And Gabu now is going to be trying to phase onto Toxic, who has Shack to drop. I'm not sure why he didn't drop Shack there. running up to the top side, makes this pallet. He got to play for a stun now, unfortunately, on the wrong side, and Gabu is going to get that down and the hook.
Yeah, if he is the DS player, this would be good. And no, Toxic is not the DS player, unfortunately. And yeah, gonna be dragged down to the, I think, bottom side of the map. This is around 5, I think, judging from my little tiny research session to you know, give the viewers a good experience. And Gabu here, I think he has his senses are telling him that maybe someone's waiting here for this insta save and FTP maybe, but who knows? He did not see anyone, but still he is. Oh, I think he found something. No, he did not. This is Oh, I just realized he's in a very good spot here. Look at these gens.
Yeah, that is true. But if they do pop that 6th gen for Toxic's death plus the reset on Ziggy, I think that puts him in a pretty good position to actually take that win call. We see Mel ready for the save, but I don't think he's going to allow them to have it. The double onto that gen at 6. The survivor now coming in and getting a pull. No, it's going to be a 1-for-1.
The
Gabby
ping,
getting the
though.
swing in time. The down onto Mel, you can really see the ping difference there. Going to be chasing Toxic now for the slug. Toxic needs to play it out of his mind right now and have a phenomenal chase if he wants his team to stand a
100%.
chance. And the dead hard too early,
no.
unfortunately. Could it be a DS? I don't think so. Considering the first hook could have been. No DS from Toxic. And Gabu is in a dominating position now, considering he was able to get that tunnel. And the gen at 6 being completed. The pickup coming out now onto Mel, but Mel is not going to last too much longer, being stuck to this pallet injured.
Yeah, and Mel injured, and as you know, being injured against Spirit is basically means that you are just dead. And yeah, we see Mel here getting put on the same hook that Toxic was just on, and the gens here are pretty split. You know, it isn't the best, but the survivors could play around this very well. And yeah, just look at those two top gens. They are really far away from each other. They could just 1-1 split those and let Mel hit second and try to get that one stage win, but it will be very risky.
Yeah, I think Gabu is in a really dominating position, and the tag onto Ziggy really helps, because if he commits to Jarms right now, he's forcing that injured survivor to wrap for the save. We saw a bit of a balance landing. Gabu kind of lost track of him a little bit, and he makes the Shack Vault, which is huge for Jarms. But the question is Ziggy going to just stick his gen, or is he going to run in for the save? I think the safe play is for him to stick his gen, which means Mel is going to be hitting second stage shortly, unless Jarms has an absolutely insane chase right now, running in for the 1-for-1 onto Mel, which I guess, yeah, I can understand that play, but hitting the second stage is so crucial for Gabu. He's just going to immediately take that hook onto Jarms, doesn't want to risk the unbreak, which is very
the
valid.
win if he camps this.
Yeah, absolutely. He just needs, he just needs one more stage, really, to win, because that's 4 fresh.
Yeah.
Oh no, so Ziggy's still fresh, actually. But he is committing to Mel. That's going to be the DS. I think I've never seen a more obvious one in my life. So the gen now popping up at the 12 side of the map. That's going to be, I believe, a 4K1 very shortly. Gabu going to be committing to Mel. Mel has to put on an insane chase if he wants his team to win, but takes the down there, and that's going to be the Tycon now being met if Gabu gets this hook onto Mel.
Yeah, this is looking like a GG, to be honest, because, well, yeah, Mel is dead, and they both have to get out to tie this while popping a gen. So yeah, looking very rough for Inferno here.
Yeah, but Gabu phasing around the edge map, trying to find one of these injured survivors, maybe either resetting or just stealthing the edge map. He has a good intuition to believe that someone is here, but he hasn't located anyone just yet. So I guess it is possible these survivors could be resetting. And it is also possible, by the way, for the survivors to win, I believe, or to tie, sorry, if they have these 2 survivors escape. Am I not mistaken? Oh, well, I guess that's not going to happen now. He found the reset edge map, and now he's going to phase onto Jarms. Doesn't look like he can really last too long where he is.
Yeah, and the down coming in. Not the greatest position for... Well, I kind of forgot the team. Inferno to be in. Very sorry about that.
It's Revolution.
Um,
Gunther.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's them. And
Yeah.
hearing Ziggy here and oh, a little bit of juking and no, that will be the 4K1 probably guaranteed. Probably.
Yeah.
Who knows? The
Gabu
Johns
has
might bleed out.
played absolutely insane tonight. 4K2 on Nurse,
Yeah.
4K1 on Spirit, very consistent killer performances, and on
Mm.
Survivor going absolutely mental as well. So huge props to Gabu. Probably one of the best performances I've seen from him in general, even maybe even beating some of his games like on Skirmish. I think tonight has just been so
100%, man.
consistent, to be honest. That
He
being said, he
has...
is playing against a less experienced team, but I think he's been punishing every single one of their mistakes that they have been making.
Yeah. From my time playing with him, I would say he is a killer player who punishes mistakes really, really well. He sees anything that, you know, he can take, like, any little mistake this guy gets, he will just take that and bend your team into 15 different shapes. In a bad way, I would like to add. Maybe some of you will see that as good. But yeah, super well played. Like, to be honest, on Survivor as well. Not to mention that Mastermind chase was literally like game winning, so to
Yeah, it
speak, because
was crazy.
yeah, like that would have been a 4K2, 100% if he didn't last. But nope, this man pulled up. He said, "Hey, I don't want to lose today, so let me just win 5 50-50s back to back." So yeah,
Yeah,
really well
absolutely.
played from him.